Making accurate selections in Illustrator is so important for me when it comes to saving time and getting artwork done right. The Lasso tool and the magic wand and the selection menu are my go-to areas for doing this type of stuff. So I have this illustration open that I created. And often with things like this, I need to select things like the highlights on the mountains. And for this, I'll use the magic wand tool. And if I select that and double click it, the magic wand panel will open, and I can click any of the attributes that I want to use for this. And I want to set the tolerance to 0 because I only want to select one specific color. And if I select all the highlights, then I can come into my color panel or the swatches and brighten it or select a different color. So let's say I like that color. But if I want to make all of the mountains an entirely different color, what I can do is change the tolerance to something like 40. And now if I select the mountains, it's going to select all of the mountain areas. And then I can change the color for everything. Say I want all the mountains, that bright brown or darker brown, something like that, if I want to flatten everything. Say I want to select all the highlights again, and I want a different way of doing it. I can use my direct selection tool, select one of the shapes on it, and go up to select, and go to the same fill color. And now it's going to select just these elements. They're all that same fill color. And again, I can brighten it or darken it. You may have noticed that I used the Lasso selection tool in some previous videos. I love this tool because I can select just the anchor points that I want, and I can create a gradient mesh and use it for just the points. So for example, if I create a shape and go into the gradient mesh like we did before, I can use the Lasso tool, and the shortcut is Q, which I use so much for this. Say I just want these points right there. Now it's only selecting those anchor points. I can change those to orange. And it's only going to select those ones that I did. For example, say I want just these two right here. And I can make those a different color too. So the Lasso tool gives a lot of really nice flexibility for that. For example, in this, say I wanted to select just the mountain peaks. I would definitely use that for something like this, where the direct selection tool might be just a little bit tricky. And when I'm selecting multiple things, I just hold down Shift, and that will add to the selection no matter where I select. And what I can also do is just go around and select all the top of these mountains, just like that. And say for something like this is when I would use saved selections, because that took me a minute to go and select all those. So what I can do is go up to the select menu and save the selection. I'm going to say mountain peaks. And so say you accidentally clicked off, you don't want to have to go in and select all those mountain peaks again. I can go up to select, and you can see that I made a selection of that. I can click on mountain peaks, and now it's going to save where I select all those, and I can grab those and move them around just like that. Now the last thing that I'm going to show you in this video is how to select text. This is one of the most common things I use the select menu for. I am often sending things to print. Generally, printers don't like fonts and artwork unless they're outlined or expanded. Now if I have a document like this with lots of text on it, it can be annoying to try to select all of it individually. And this is what I use the select menu for. I can go up to select an object, and I want to select all the text objects. And now what I can do to expand it is Object Expand, or I generally use a shortcut Shift Command O or Shift Control O on a PC or Windows computer. And then I can expand it all to outline. So if I go into outline mode, everything has been totally expanded, and I can very easily send it to the printer, and the file will work out very well. So I hope you enjoyed learning about selections, and I'll see you in the next video.